I see what you're doing, Football Manager. If I want to win the Champions League this season, I'm going to have to do it the hard way. Fair enough. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 38 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have a Champions League doubleheader, both legs of our quarter-final tie against Barcelona. That's right, we got Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It is the quarterfinals, isn't it? It is the quarterfinal. And that's how the rest of the quarterfinal looks. So Monaco, Tottenham, Leipzig, Benfica, Real Madrid versus Inter. Even if we manage to make it past Barcelona, there doesn't look like there's going to be any easy games from here on in. We may as well beat Barcelona now. But goodness me. At least Pingu's top scorer in the tournament, second best player in the tournament. That's all positive stuff. Since you were last with me, we have played a couple more Premier League, one more Premier League game, in fact, just the one against Newcastle. We thumped them. So this is how the Premier League table looks, but we're not going to look at the Premier League today. Premier League goes on the back burner. There is a Huddersfield game between the two Barcelona games. I'll just play that one offline. Today is all about Barcelona and getting into the semi-final of the Champions League. And this is the team we're putting out there to try and do exactly that. We've got Weiss in goal, a back four of Martelot, Felipe, Vitali and Jamie, with Davidson, Leshy and David in midfield and Schaefer in behind Dolberg and Pingu. It's our first choice team. You're familiar with their work. One thing I wasn't familiar with, we got a notification saying Malcolm Felipe had played a game that he shouldn't have played or something internationally. Weirdly, he plays for Brazil. Well, who was it who was playing for Portugal? We've got a Portuguese player. Basically, long story short, I thought it was Felipe. There must be another one who's Portuguese. Mark Hughes is Portugal manager. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen me post this yesterday. Mark Hughes is the current Portugal manager. Previous Holland manager as well. What a weird career Mark Hughes has had. He's had a who's who of middling to poor Premier League teams. And then just two massive international jobs. Weird career. But let's not worry about Mark Hughes. Today is all about Arsenal. We're home in the first leg, so we need to put a marker down, score some goals. Pingu's already top scorer in the tournament. Let's have him add another 3 goals to that today and just outscore Barcelona. I think any silly plan that we'd have about not conceding today, we're not going to get through this without conceding. Barcelona are, without question, the best team in the world in the save right now. They're one of maybe a handful of teams that we'd be willing to leave Arsenal to go to because it would give us a better chance of winning the Champions League. You'll notice from their team, unlike a lot of the bigger English clubs, they've not rested on their current real-life players. They've just brought in all of the best new gens from around the world. And with Ter Stegen and probably a couple of others. Renato Sanchez down there on the bench. DVD's on their bench as well. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, I'm afraid. I think if we win this, we will win the Champions League this year. If we win the tie, not just this game. But I'm not at all confident that we'd like to do that. Pingu absolutely toe pokes that. What a miss. And now Kasper Dolberg, as usual in a big game, has picked up a knock. We have got yesterday's hero, Jerome Whiteley, on the bench. I don't know if Barcelona is the game for him to come on and play again. That being said, he hasn't played since the Celtic game, so his career record is still 70 minutes of football, 3 goals, 2 of which were in the Champions League. Now Dolberg's properly injured. We are going to bring on Willis. I'm not completely nuts. Ben Willis at least has a number of years experience playing at this level, so we'll go with Willis initially. I might end up regretting it. Perhaps Whiteley would have been the man to make the breakthrough. He might still come on in the second half. Junior David has just scored right on the stroke of half-time. He is in rich goal-scoring form at the moment. He got 2 goals in the 4-1 defeat against Newcastle just a couple of days ago. And now he grabs a massively important goal for Arsenal in the Champions League quarter-final. He's playing for his place at the World Cup. He's not been in the recent England squads, which is ridiculous because we all know how good he is. And I think he's decided he wants to go to the World Cup this summer. So a goal against Barcelona is a blooming good way to go about trying to achieve that. And Barcelona had 3 players who've picked up injuries. None of them proper injuries like the one they've done to Dolberg. But they're not a fit team. There are some tired and knocked players. Almost said knocked up players. There's some knocked up players we can take advantage of. But, you know, there's the potential for more goals. You know, they've actually taken off 2 of the players who picked up knocks in that first half. DVD is now on, and there he is. One of the stars from a world where we used to play wingers. One could argue the sale of DVD is what turned around our fortunes because we had money to invest and a tactic that worked finally. And I mean, I miss him. He was brilliant, but I don't think we'd have reached this level with a Premier League winners' medal under our belt and being competitive in the Champions League. I don't think we'd have done that with DVD in the team. He was part of the team that made it through to the Europa League final, though, so... You know, both us and him have experience of getting to the last stages of European competition. Just not this one. Leshy with the corner. Falls to Davidson. Davidson crosses it towards Felipe, but it was too high, too long. But Felipe brings it back into the area. It's with David again, and Davidson's got space on the other side of the penalty area. Barcelona are linked with him, as they are Leshy, but it's only Junior David again. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Junior David. 4 goals in 2 matches now. He is in the form of his life. If you're watching, whoever the England manager is, Mark Hughes' Portugal manager, no idea who the England manager might be. It's probably still Gareth Southgate. If you're watching, Junior David has got to be a must for the World Cup just based on these 2 performances. He is clearly a big game player. When the pressure is on, Junior David turns up and scores goals. But Barcelona are running at us now. 2-0 would be an amazing end to this game. If we let them get back into it, less so. I mean, Rice with a good save. I did say let's have no silly talk about stopping them scoring an away goal. At this point, 2-0 up with 35 minutes left, I would absolutely bank this and take it to Spain with me. Schaefer is running in a very weird manner and obviously got tackled. He seemed like he wasn't taking long enough strides. He was taking really short strides and just moving his legs really quickly. He looked like a cartoon and obviously had the ball taken off him because of it. Right, I'm now keeping an eye on the fitness levels of both teams. We don't have the big fitness advantage that we'd usually have in these situations because we only played Newcastle a couple of days ago. Again, just like with yesterday, we rested players, but rest doesn't seem to be getting the job done at the moment. With this deep Champions League run, there's too many matches to keep the players fit. I'm kind of glad we got ourselves knocked out of the FA Cup when we did, because at least it's like 4 or 5 matches that we haven't had to play through being messing around in that tournament. But go on, let's grab a third. Big ball forward towards Pingu. It ends up with Willis, who tries to find David, but he can't quite get there. And now Barcelona have the chance to break on us again, but Martelot's into cover. And Felipe with another big long ball forward. Felipe thinks we've turned into a Watford off of the 80s, but it doesn't matter because Patrick Schaefer has just made it 3-0 to Arsenal on 68 minutes. This is getting ridiculous now, but ridiculous in an awesome way. Almost as ridiculous as my hair that just has this one little point on it today for no reason at all. It would be the day when I'm recording multiple episodes, so you have several days in a row of me with stupid hair. But who cares if we're going to beat Barcelona 3-0? They've now taken off another injured player, and we're going to take off Pingu and bring on Whiteley, because why not? I know that's a really silly thing to do, but sometimes you just have a feeling about a player who just might be a special little hero, and he's never played in a match for us and not scored a goal. So if anyone's going to come and grab us a fourth, Jerome Whiteley feels like the man who might do it. Leshy is struggling. Let's get Henrique on for him. I know it means dropping David a little bit deeper, which seems mad, the goal scoring form that he's in, but I'd rather keep the energy in the midfield through bringing on Henrique. And now Willis is injured. We're down to 10 men. Are Barcelona down to 10 men yet? They are as well. So we're both down to 10 men through injury. This game is a good advert for a midwinter break. Everyone's getting injured. I think they have one in Spain anyway, don't they? But let's not... Who cares? Who cares? We've just beaten Barcelona 3-0. Now we go to their place, just needing to finish the job. I'm quite impressed with that. Just the one change for the away leg then. I think we have played a game in between. There might have been more actually. Alex comes in at right back because Jamie is injured. He's got 2 injuries at the same time actually, or he did. He's now just got a broken cheekbone, but he had something else that he was injured and then got injured again. In fact, we can look at him to prove that that's the case. I know you don't need proof. I'm going to check anyway. I'm a liar. Well, there we go. So he's got a protective face mask. But we're not going to risk him against Barcelona. So probably didn't need to give him the protective mask if I'm not going to play him. But we might need him if Alex is a disaster today. I have agonised over what to do tactically. Obviously, we've played the same system on control for 2 seasons now, and it served us well. My assistant manager is adamant we should be counter-attacking away against Barcelona. I can kind of see his point. But after a long think... And I'm serious, I've walked around the garden thinking about this. I would rather bottle this playing my way than bottle it before the match even starts by trying to play to counter Barcelona. So we're going to go there, we're going to attack them, we're going to try and grab an away goal, and we might be tempted to adjust as the game goes on if it becomes clear that we're just not in it. I don't know how good they're going to be in this return leg. Obviously, they should be feeling a little bit battered and bruised from that first leg in more ways than one. There was injuries afoot, plus we thumped them in the match. But if they come out here and absolutely dominate the first half hour or so, then we'll make some adjustments and we'll go to a more counter-attacking system, unless they're 3-0 up by that point, of course. But if it seems like it's a fairly even game, then we'll just carry on playing our way and try and grab a goal, because that serves us well and has served us well across a successful Premier League campaign, and we're still very much in the hunt for the Premier League title again this year. And I would say Man United are probably as good as Barcelona, and Pingu is so very close to putting us 4-0 up in the tie and grabbing a crucial away goal, and Kasper Dolberg does exactly that. He is having this season of his life, age 32. He's averaging almost an 8 this year. It's more than he's ever averaged before. He's closing in on his previous goals in a season record. He has doubled his previous assists in a season record. After signing Pinheiro, I think that's perhaps what Kasper Dolberg needed. Some proper competition in the shape of Pinheiro. And at age 32, he is playing the best football of his career. And that goal is so important. We're now 4-0 up in the tie, and we have an away goal as well. So for Barcelona to win this tie at this point, they need to score 5 goals in this second half. Surely even we can't concede 5 goals in the second half. Oh, what was that? The kiss of death? Oh dear. Now we're going to... if we concede 2, then we make the changes and we go defensive. I think that's my plan at the moment. I don't want to have to do that. I would like us to score another goal now. Pingu is in behind. Barcelona have sent everybody forward, and Schaefer's in, and it's 2-0 on the night. 5-0 on aggregate. We have absolutely done a number on Barcelona here over 2 legs. They can't cope with us. We are so good going forward. This feels like a changing of the guard, handing of the torch moment. We're going to crown ourselves unofficial European champions after this one and use the momentum from this to go on and win the Champions League this year. Pingu's in behind again, but Ter Stegen collects. And we need to be careful that we don't want to commit too many bodies forward. We've seen Barcelona are doing exactly that. They're leaving only 2 men back at times and really coming at us. So there's every chance they're going to score. And then it starts to become a little bit more interesting. They need 6 at this point, and they're running the wrong way, which I'm completely happy for them to do. But if we leave our 2 strikers forward, that means when we do get the counter-attacks on, it's going to be 2-on-2. Right, they've got the goal back. Let's not appoint ourselves European champions just yet. Look how excited they all are. So now they just need 5 more. If we lose this 6-2, I might just resign on the spot, even though we could still win the Premier League, because it would be the bottle job to crown all bottle jobs. I feel a little bit sick because I've been down this road before. If they score again, we're going defensive, because then at least you lot can't shout at me for not going defensive. Oh, I feel really ill. Properly queasy. They're coming at us again. Right, Pingu in behind it. Is that 2-on-2 situation? And Dolberg's in the middle on his own, and that's a big miss. He had the time to take a touch and line that up properly and just put the game completely without doubt, beyond doubt. The words have gone. No, not the words. I need those. That's all I have. Right, we're bringing Herford on at left back, and we're going to bring Henrique on for Junior David in midfield, and that will do for now. I don't want to make a third substitution yet, although we could probably do with the extra energy, but I might want to bring a defender on. Lafredo sat there and may well come on at the expense of a midfielder if Barcelona score here. Right, it's a big ball over the top again, and we've got this 2-on-2 situation again, but we can't quite get the ball back. So, I mean, should I just go defensive at this point anyway? If we play a flat back 5 for the last 10 minutes, surely they won't be able to score 5 goals past that. Surely. If they score here, we're definitely doing it. They've hit the post. They're teasing us. Oi, oi, oi. Right, Dolberg coming very, very deep, but keeping control of the ball, which is what I like to see. Right, we are going to make a tactical change. I can hear the roar of encouragement coming from the comments section. Kev's doing tactics. What on earth is this? We're going to take off Dolberg and bring on Lafredo. And we're going to drop him back into this back. We are now playing 5 centre-backs, by the way, as our back 4. 5 centre-backs. And then we're just going to do that. And we're going to go to counter-attack him. And we're going to just slow the game down a little bit. And we don't want to drop a line back, do we? That seems silly. We're just going to do that. And we're just going to have that extra defender in there. This is where they go and score loads of goals because we can't cope with having a back 5. And that would make me very sad. I can't believe not only have we got a back 5, but they're all centre-backs as well. This should be the most effective defence in the history of Football Manager. If they get through this, I don't understand. Tactics are a little bit beyond me. But we seem to be holding on. It's been the dullest game in the history of the Champions League. We've only had 35% possession. Barcelona now down to 10 men. And it doesn't matter because we've not only won the tie, but we've gone to their place and we've beaten them as well. So we find ourselves into the semi-final of the Champions League after a phenomenal performance against Barcelona. We are now going to go and check the semi-final draw and find out what's coming up tomorrow. In other news, before the Champions League draw, look at this Premier League run-in. I mean, it doesn't get much tighter than that. We are 5 points behind them with a game in hand and them still to play. If we win our remaining 6 games, we do win the league. I would argue we perhaps have the easier run-in as well. We've got Man United and Man City, but other than that, whereas they've got Leicester, who might want to do me a favour, Tottenham, Man City and Liverpool. Get those fingers crossed. Here we go then, Champions League semi-final. There's us, Real Madrid, Leipzig and Tottenham. I don't even know who I want in this fight. I want to avoid Real Madrid. Tottenham I'll take now or in the final. Either way would be fun. If we're going to get Tottenham in the final, let's have Leipzig now because I think they're probably going to be easier than Real Madrid. Although that being said, Leipzig did get to the final against Inter last year. So let's see. Tottenham. Leipzig. We're going to have to go through Barcelona and now Real Madrid as well. At least we're away from home in the first leg. We are not going to get an easy route through to this Champions League win, are we? So where do those games take place? I guess what we'll do is, we'll do another double header tomorrow. I know we've got a Man City game in between, but we could then do the 2 semi-finals and then finish off the week with the Man United potential title decider in the league. And fingers crossed, a Champions League final. Which is asking a lot now. We've got to play Real Madrid. Anyway, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.